It only takes one success, one win to change the trajectory of your entire life. Realistically, what I would do if I had $100,000, I wouldn't invest it because investing is way too slow. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. That's why I put so much value on time and making money at a young age. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they have the same 24 hours in a day that I do. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today is gonna be a little bit different. This is not gonna be a highly produced YouTube video. This is gonna be me just answering your questions. The other day on my Instagram, I put up a question thing and I asked people what topics they wanted me to talk about. What did they want to learn about? What would help them make money or start a business, get financial freedom as fast as possible? So I got a lot of questions and topics to talk about. I want you guys to think of this YouTube video as a podcast almost, something that you can put on and listen to for a long time because we're gonna cover a lot of different topics. As you can see, there's a lot here, so I'm gonna answer all these questions. I hope you guys can take a lot and learn from this. So before we get started, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and let's get into it. All right, so jumping right into it, Dan1N said, how to stop being lazy and get shit done. This is a question I hear a lot. I think a lot of people feel this way. Here's the truth, Dan. Everyone's lazy. I'm lazy. The people you see that are super successful are lazy. A lot of successful people are lazy. Bill Gates actually has a quote that says, I would rather hire a lazy person for a job because a lazy person will find an easier way to do it. And it's true. I think a lot of people struggle with laziness or lacking motivation. And a big part of that comes from your habits. Because motivation is temporary. We've all probably had those moments where like we get motivated and we tell ourselves we're gonna do something and we do it for maybe a week before like it fizzles out or we give up or we just fall off course. I see it all the time with my students. It's not that they don't have the information or they don't know what to do. It's like they start doing something, they get motivated, it gets hard, they quit. Or they just get distracted, they get lazy, right? It's easy for us to be motivated if it's stuff we like, but when stuff gets hard, it's harder to be motivated. And motivation is temporary, so a lot of it comes from good habits. Having good habits is like the fundamental for all of this stuff. So Dan, if you want to stop being lazy, you got to build good habits. The best way to explain it is like brushing your teeth. I would hope that you don't have to think about brushing your teeth or you don't get lazy to brush your teeth. Or the same when it comes to taking a shower. I would hope that you don't say, oh, I'm so lazy, I don't want to take a shower. These are habits. They become habits because we've been doing them since we were kids. So now it's just automatic. You go to bed, you brush your teeth. You're dirty, you take a shower. They're normal things to us and we don't have to put too much effort into it because they have become habits. Some good habits for you to have. Personally, what I think, one is exercise. Exercise gets your blood flowing. It kind of clears your thoughts. It's really good to like be healthy in general, but overall when you exercise, it helps you be more productive and focused throughout the day in my experience. And I think there's scientific benefits too. I just don't want to say them because I'm not a scientist. Another one's like planning. Planning your day is so important because that way if you get into the habit of planning your day, you no longer have to like just kind of play by ear and like play it on freestyle mode. Like you have a plan to attack your day. You know when hard things are coming. You know what you have to do, when you have to do them. So get in the habit of exercising, get in the habit of planning your day. My best advice overall, just to not be lazy, build good habits, whether it's working, whether it's exercising, whether it's planning your day, and stick to them for 30 days. That first 30 days when building a habit is gonna be so difficult because you're gonna wanna quit. It's gonna be easy to stop. Around day 7, day 8, it's going to be very difficult. But if you make it to day 28, a habit is formed and it's almost automatic. For me, when I work out, I don't like think and then go to the gym or like I don't get lazy. I am lazy all the time to go to the gym, but it's a habit that it's part of my schedule that I just do it now. So it's not that I'm just super motivated all the time to work out and be extra buff. Like, no, that's not it. Otherwise, I would be huge. It's built into my routine. It's built into my habits that I just do it and I get it done no matter what. So Dan1N, to answer your question, how to stop being lazy, you're never going to stop being lazy. That's human beings, but you can build good habits and that's what you should do. Next question. My boy Flex Finito said, what would you do with 100K sitting around? That's a good question. And I think ultimately the answer to this question really depends on what kind of person you are. Some people have the goal to become rich when they're old, like 40, 50. If you're 20 years old, you have 100K sitting around, you can invest that and it'll probably become $1 million by the time you're 40 or 50. Money doubles every 7 years. So let's say it's 100K, 7 years, it'll be 200K, 7 years, it'll be 400K. Yeah, so in 20 years, it'll be 800K. You'll be close to $1 million. That's if you have 21 years to wait. Realistically, what I would do if I had $100,000 or any amount of money that big to start, it was just sitting around, I wouldn't invest it because investing is way too slow. You're relying on things like compound interest, but that only works when you have a lot of money. Good example, let's say I invested in the stock market, it's growing like 10, 15% a year. I would make from that 10K around $10,000, $15,000 in a year, which sounds cool, nowhere close to living the life that I want to live or making money, becoming rich at a young age. So if I had 100K sitting around, what I would do, and this is a riskier approach, obviously you could lose it all, but I think time is the most valuable asset anyways. I would take $10,000 to $20,000 and use that to learn skills, whether it's paying a mentor, paying for courses, paying for books, content. Like I would use that 10, 20K, literally just learn all the skills when it comes to business. That's the most important part because that's what's going to make us the money. That's what's going to prevent us from making mistakes. People don't lose money in business because they're unlucky or business just sucks. They lose money because they make mistakes because they don't know enough. So businesses only lose money when you make mistakes. And to avoid making mistakes, I would just pay to learn that information to make as little mistakes as possible. The other $80,000, I would probably spend half of that starting a brand like what I do now, like an e-commerce brand or a product brand and something I'm interested in. So I would use that $40,000 to start a business. Not sure what it would be for me. It would be an e-commerce brand because that's where I specialize in. That's what I enjoy doing. Another business I could start would be a social media marketing agency. So that's what I would do with the next 40 grand. And I would stash the last 40 grand away, save it or invest it for a rainy day. That's kind of like the way it would work. I would find something to teach me how to make money. I would use the 40 grand to apply those skills. And I would use 40 grand just to save in case shit goes bad. So that's what I would do if I had 100K sitting around. Edera asks my opinion on time management. I'm assuming she meant like how to get better at time management. And time management is a cool thing because it's something that we all have like as human beings, right? You might have heard the cheesy quote, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's true. That's why I put so much value on time and making money at a young age because you don't get your time back. You might get money back. You might get, resources back. You will never get your time back. So time management's probably the most important thing because Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they have the same 24 hours in a day that I do. It's just how they use it, how they manage it. So time management, ultimately, Edera, it goes back to the good habit that I said earlier. It's planning your day. A lot of people mess up when it comes to time management because they don't have a plan. All they're doing throughout the day is kind of just like, okay, well, I have to go to work today. And then after work, I'm just going to go home and do this. They don't really have a plan. They just say, this is what I'm doing that day. Cool. And they live with it. Successful people have a planned day. So great example, me, I have a planner. I'm big on planners. I have a planner with everything in there. Just so I know exactly what I'm doing or what I need to get done on a particular day. Even more, and this might be a little OCD for you, I have alarms that go off. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. I have alarms that go off every couple hours to tell me what I need to do. So I have an alarm that wakes me up at 8:24 in the morning. Shout out to Kobe Bryant. It says to work out, vitamins, meditate. At 10:30, done with my workout, protein, shower. At 11:11, shout out Angel Numbers, post on my socials. 11:30, I get into the deep work. I start filming any meetings I have, any hard tasks I have to do. That's deep work. I start that at 11:30. 4:30, I wind down and I do the easy work. So I do emails, video editing, the easier stuff that like is relaxing almost. And then at 8:24, I have a hard stop or a wind down where I just do whatever I want, no matter what. Even if I have a bunch of stuff to do, at 8:24, I stop. As long as I'm following the schedule, my time management is good. It's a 12-hour day from 8:24 to 8:24. I get my workout in. I get all the hard stuff, the easy stuff. Everything I need to do throughout the day gets done when I follow this schedule. In fact, I'm filming this right now late. It's about to go off in 2 minutes, so we're going to have to ignore it today, put a little overtime in. But when it comes to time management, it's all about planning. It's not necessarily like I'm better than anyone else at planning stuff or at time management. I'm just better at planning my days out. So plan your days accordingly. Plan your days beforehand so you're not just kind of like walking around clueless. Plan your days so you have an exact direction on where to go every single day. That's how you manage your time better. Next question. Enjoying life every day said, how to maintain your mental health while grinding? That's a very, very, very important question. I know a lot of entrepreneurs are kind of dickheads. They would say, oh, mental health, you're weak. Like, stop being weak. That's how you maintain your mental health. And I get where they're coming from, but also I do realize that everyone is different. Some people are naturally strong mentally. You know, I had a single mom. I didn't grow up with much. She was an immigrant, so we didn't have much growing up. I dealt with a lot of adversity, and it made me strong mentally. So it might be a little bit easier for me. But I also understand some other people that weren't in the same situation. I'm blessed. It sounds weird. I'm blessed that I grew up difficult because it made me mentally strong. But not everyone is like that. But a lot of people still want to become entrepreneurs, make money, et cetera, et cetera. So I guess to maintain your mental health while you're grinding, something important for me that I found recently when I had money already is taking that time off. Wow, this is so perfect. It's going off right now. Taking that time off, planning your mental health breaks. This is what I mean by that. At 8:24 every single night, my alarm goes off and it says, no matter what you're doing, if you're working, you have to stop. So normally, if I wasn't filming this video, I would just stop and be done. And I would go and do something I like to do. I would go on a date. I would go have dinner with a friend. I would go out to a club. I would play piano. I would drink wine. I would read a book. I would watch a movie. All of these things really help my mental health because I'm not working all the time. My brain can kind of turn off and just do what I want to do. So if you're going to maintain your mental health while you're grinding, you have to plan mental health breaks or plan stuff like this, like almost like a ritual where you can sit and do nothing, right? Like after this, I'm probably going to go and drink wine for my mental health. You know, it's not the best for me. Wine, alcohol is not good for you, but I'm going to do it. It keeps me happy. So if you want to maintain your health while you're grinding, plan your day, but also plan your mental health breaks. And let me be clear. Watching Netflix for 8 hours is not a mental health break. Playing video games for 9 hours, unless you are like a video game streamer, is not a mental health break. Going to the spa for a week straight is not a mental health break. Mental health, you can put time towards your mental health. It doesn't have to be 10 hours, 12 hours, because at that point it's just excessive. You're just being lazy. It's no longer mental health. So if you want to maintain your mental health while you're grinding, plan it out. Let's say you have a 9-to-5 job. You can go to work and then grind 2 hours a night. And then from there, take an hour to watch your favorite TV show or hang out with your friends, FaceTime your girlfriend, whatever. That's kind of how I would maintain your mental health while you're grinding, because it is a thing. Haidar says, how to make money while you're young. I love this one because when you think about it, a lot of people hear investing and compound interest, all these buzzwords, save your money, be smart. Here's the truth about that, guys. You're not going to make money doing that. You're not going to become rich. You're not going to become a millionaire saving your money. You're not going to save your way to millions until you're 60 or 70 years old. In order to make money while you're young, you need an active income. Examples of an active income is a high-paying job or a high-paying business, okay? And the difficult part is high-paying jobs, they're few and far between, and you usually need a lot of college. So if you want to make a lot of money while you're young, you can't afford to go spend 8 years in college, because by the time you're out, you're like 26, you have all these student loans, you no longer have your time. You're not that young anymore. You're going to get a crazy high-paying job, you're not that young anymore. Whereas building an active income while you're young through a business, let's say e-commerce, social media marketing, real estate wholesaling, stock trading, drop shipping, all of these are good ways to build active incomes that can make you a lot of money while you're young. Because if you just save, invest your money, it takes time for you to do that. So you can definitely get rich doing that method. A lot of people do it. The entire society does it. My mom did it. But in order to become a millionaire or to make money while you're young, you need to build an active income. So start looking at ways, exploring different ways to make an active income. And that requires skills. So going back to what I said earlier, it's going to require skills. You have to learn skills. Otherwise, you're not going to get paid a lot to do it. Your boy Gio wants me to talk about drop shipping. Drop shipping is cool. It's a great way to make money while you're young. It's not dead. It still exists. The only difference when you are drop shipping a product or you're starting a drop shipping business, what you need to do is brand that product. So let's say I'm selling a speaker. In the early days of drop shipping, it was like bluespeaker.com. Actually, that's kind of cool. Blueloudspeaker.com. That would be the drop shipping name. It would be a generic product and I would just sell it. Nowadays, it's a lot more competitive. There's a lot of people drop shipping. There's a lot of people selling that product. So what you need that separates you from the rest is branding. So with this, I would give it a name, audioboom.com, right? I think that exists already, but audioboom.com. And then it's an audio boom speaker. So people would see the speaker and be like, oh, this is not just any speaker. This is an audio boom speaker. And they're willing to buy it, pay for it. It looks clean. So drop shipping is still a thing. You could still make a lot of money drop shipping. The only difference is you got to be way better at branding your product. You got to create a sexy website. These casual, like shitty websites don't work anymore. Has to be a sexy website. You have to brand your product. That's how you're going to win when it comes to drop shipping. Edu Bastos said digital marketing. He wants to talk about digital marketing. Digital marketing is cool. It's a useful skill to learn. I would recommend everyone learn these skills. Digital marketing, sales, finance, how money works, overall just business principles, and then persuasion, I guess, but that kind of falls into sales. All of these are very, very important in business. If you understand digital marketing, you're going to be important to any business. But more than that, you can start your own business. And when you have a highly desired skill like digital marketing and you can deliver results, you can literally charge people for your services. That's how I got started. I charged people for my digital marketing services. If everything goes bad, my brands don't work, I still have digital marketing experience. I could still pitch to people, charge them, make money doing that. So digital marketing, very, very important skill to learn. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to teach you how to do that in 10 minutes or however long this video is. But if you want to learn that, I do have a mentorship program. You get an actual coach. It's literally, instead of just a course, because courses don't work because people get them and they don't look through them, right? Like if I gave you a course and said, hey, go make money, some of you might do it, maybe 1-2%. The rest of you guys are going to fall off. You're going to go through it. It's going to get hard. Same thing. You're not going to be motivated. You're not going to do it. So what I have is an actual mentorship program. If you are interested in learning digital marketing, sales, finance, business, all of the skills that I taught you or I mentioned, you can click the link at getprimecoaching.com. Schedule a call. We have limited spots, but if you can get a spot, you can learn all of these skills. Mems said, your thoughts on your ex-girlfriend before you got rich. This is actually a good one. A lot of people wonder how money affects relationships. Or just, relationships in general with people, significant other, et cetera, et cetera. With me, I'm not ashamed to say it kind of ruined it for me. And it might just be a me thing. It doesn't have to be you. Maybe you could learn from my mistakes. But once I started making a little bit of money, I started getting popping a little bit. I decided to break up with my ex-girlfriend at the time, who was like this lovely person. I have nothing bad to say about her. Just because I felt like I was moving in a different direction with my life, and she wasn't. And there's a saying, it says, grow together or grow apart. And I feel like I was really growing to the point where we weren't clicking the same. And there's always going to be love for her in my heart. Like, again, amazing person. But, like it's difficult when we're in different places in our life. And maybe you experience this with anyone. It happens a lot. Maybe you have friends where you have a different mindset than them and you're slowly growing apart. It happens. You can't be mad at it. It's something that happens in life. And I can say I'm in a relationship now and it just feels a lot better because it's someone that's on my same wavelength. So for everyone watching this, I think literally don't worry what money or like making money will do to your relationships. It'll put you in a better place for relationships with people that are on the same wavelength. T. Segabe said, how do you deal with social anxiety? Good question, T. Segabe. Honestly, it's a good question because believe it or not, I was a really shy kid. I grew up with a single mom. She's very traditional, Asian lady. She did not teach me social skills, and she was an immigrant, so she didn't know American culture like that. So me going to school, I didn't know too much about like any of this stuff. I was a really shy kid. I remember like my entire elementary school, 1st to 5th grade, super shy, didn't talk to anyone, barely had any friends. I had really bad social anxiety. Here's how you fix that. Honestly, you have to do exposure therapy. It sounds scary. Exposure therapy is when you expose yourself to what gives you anxiety. So let's say I have a fear of snakes and they trap me in a room with snakes. I might freak out. I might have a panic attack. I might pass out. But I won't die. Maybe I'll die. If I die, it's really bad, but I won't die. The next day, they do it again. That fear is still there, but it's a little bit less because I went through it already. I realized nothing happened. They do it again and again. And by the 50th time I'm in that room with snakes, if I'm afraid of snakes, because I've been exposed to it so much, I no longer have a fear of snakes. So same goes for social anxiety. I was a really shy kid. And what happened is I just started exposing myself to talking to people. I would talk to people here and there, like really embarrassing, really cringy. Guys, girls, it didn't matter. I would just like slowly talk to people because I was tired of being lonely. And eventually I started coming out of my shell a little bit. Believe it or not, I'm naturally introverted and I'm a learned extrovert. So I learned how to talk to the camera. I learned how to speak on stage. Winston Churchill, great speaker. He was like I guess a general in World War II, or like the leader of a country in World War II. He had a really, really bad stutter. And what he did is he practiced public speaking over and over and over again until he got really good. So social anxiety is a thing, Tess Segabe, I hope I said that right. It's a normal thing. A lot of people have it, believe it or not. You just have to expose yourself to people. Pause, not in a weird way, pause. But like you have to expose yourself to people and it's gonna help you deal with it more. The more people you talk to, it's slowly gonna go away. But if you never do anything, you're never gonna get over it. So that's kind of like my take on that. Yuktas TV said, how do you manifest? Great question. Manifesting is something, everyone has a different approach to it, a different take to it. Obviously, it's not something like a business where there's a blueprint on how to manifest because everyone might do it differently. This is how I manifested. Believe it or not, I said believe it or not a lot in this podcast, this entire penthouse, my life, I manifested. And if you don't believe me, you can look at my tweets from 2014. They called everything out. I said I was gonna be a millionaire in my 20s. I said I was gonna be like this like playboy bachelor living in a penthouse with my dream car type vibe. I manifested all of that. And a big part of manifesting, there's a saying, and I say it a lot, you guys might have heard me say it. It's if you want, the universe is rigged in a way that if you want something and you want it bad enough, it's gonna give it to you. And that's how manifesting works. Manifesting is not sitting here crossing my fingers hoping that I get this penthouse or hoping I get this car, hoping I get my dream girl. That's not manifesting. Manifesting is thinking of what I want, putting it into the universe, vocalizing it, writing it down, and then working towards it. Because eventually you have to meet the universe in the middle. When it comes to manifesting, you're not always gonna get what you want right away. It takes time. It took me 5 years from my tweet to get the car I wanted. I manifested a BMW i8. I said I was gonna get it in 2014, didn't get it to 2019. So manifesting is vocalizing it, putting it out into the universe, wanting it bad enough that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get it, and the universe will see that and give it to you. So that is my take on manifestation. That's how I see it. Thea Martinez and Saral Sain said, how do you stay focused / resilient when you don't have any money coming in? It's a great question, and I feel like a lot of people are in similar situations. If you're watching this and you're kind of like on the verge of quitting because you've been trying everything and no money is coming in, that's a situation a lot of people find themselves in. This is what I would say to you. A lot of the times, it only takes one success, one win to change the trajectory of your entire life. For me, I started a marketing agency. I failed. I started an e-commerce store. I made a little bit of money. I failed. But I started a marketing agency again and I landed a client that set up my belief system for the rest of my clients up until however much we made, $30 million to this day. So a lot of you guys that feel like quitting or like you're not focused, you feel like discouraged because you're not seeing any results. The truth is you're probably gonna have to fail, right? Failing forward. There's another quote like winners or successful people are the ones who fail the fastest. It's true. You're gonna try, you're gonna fail, it's gonna happen. You just gotta keep going because ultimately what you have to have in your mind is that it only takes one piece of content, one winning product, one good idea, one good business idea, right? One good commercial or ad that you could run on Facebook, one good YouTube ad, one good YouTube video. It only takes one. So if you keep going, all you do is increase your chances. And it's hard to stay resilient, but it happens. And you see it all the time. If you look at my YouTube statistics, for about 2 years, no movement. I was posting YouTube videos, no movement. And I thought it was gonna be like, oh, this is it. I'm gonna be YouTube famous. No movement. I posted a video, how I became a millionaire at 24. It went viral. It got 800,000 views. My YouTube shot up from 3,000 subscribers to over 40,000 subscribers wherever we're at now. So it only takes one in order to succeed. And for you guys, if you're feeling not focused or not resilient because you're not getting results, I want you to keep that fresh in your mind. It only takes one. Whew, we're on like 26 minutes now. I'm getting tired of talking. I'm going to answer 3 more questions and then we're going to get out of here. Rob J said, how to build a brand. It's a great question, Rob J. And building a brand, my specialty, is something I actually love. It starts with your messaging. A lot of people want to build a brand with no message. But ultimately, in order to have a brand that people like, they have to fuck with your message. People like my personal brand, Rene Lacade, as a content creator because the way I deliver things is different from other entrepreneurs. There's a ton of entrepreneurs that teach what I'm teaching, especially here on YouTube. Some have more money than me. But I've built a brand that people like because it's me. It's the way I deliver the message. It's my messaging. It's my story. I had a single mom. They didn't. I am a little rough around the edges. They might be super polished. When it comes to building a brand, it all starts with your messaging. And then from there, it's how you deliver your message. So if we're going to start a brand, the first thing you need to do is figure out what your message is. What makes your brand special? Why is it unique from everyone else's? What is your message? From there, how do you plan on delivering your message to the people? Is it through content? Is it through a product? Is it through a website? Like, how do you plan on delivering that message to people? Ultimately, that is how you build a brand. Building a brand and building a business are 2 different things. I know a lot of people with brands. Great example, Instagram influencers have huge brands. They don't have businesses. Businesses are something that make money. Brands are things that people fall in love with and people follow. If you combine the 2 and you have a business that's also a brand, that's how you become a fucking billionaire. Whew. Mo ESPX says, what's the/your formula for girls? Mo, it's a great question. To be honest with you, I don't even know. I see a lot of these like pickup artist guys talking about girls, like, this is what you need to tell a girl. There's no fucking secret pickup line. There's no formula for girls. There's no like some like words you can tell her that will make her like you. Ultimately, all women are different. So that's why pickup artist shit is like it doesn't work. Ultimately, the best formula for women, and I've noticed this in my own life, is just to work on yourself. Be successful in life. The other day I tweeted, if you want to be a successful man, you want to be competitive in this dating world, you have to make money, you have to have abs or be fit, and you have to cultivate a great personality. So like if there's a formula to women, it's not like, let me tell her this and she's going to instantly want to sleep with me. No, it's to work on yourself. Figure out like what you're passionate about, find a way to make that into money, build a business out of it, get in great shape, right? And cultivate a great personality. Be funny, be witty, be charming. Ultimately, those 3 things, if you have all 3, women are going to like you. If you're rich and you have 6-pack abs and you're just a funny, like really lighthearted dude, women love that. They're going to love you for that. So the formula for girls, I guess, work on yourself. And those 3 things mainly. And we're closing in on 30 minutes, so I just want to finish with this. Alberto 2000 says, what is the best sales and marketing books? Alberto, I got good and bad news for you. bad news is there's not really good sales and marketing books because sales and marketing are always changing. The good news is there's the internet, which has the latest, most up-to-date information possible. So when it comes to sales and marketing, because the business changes, right? Marketing in today's world is not the same as marketing 50 years ago. 50 years ago, people would market on radio and like television and billboard and newspaper. These days, they use Facebook and TikTok and Google and YouTube. Marketing has changed. So marketing books, unless they're making a new one every single year, not even every single year, because Facebook changes its algorithm every month, unless they're printing a marketing book every month, which no one would do because it wouldn't make any money, your best bet is honestly to use the internet to get your information. A book on sales, a book on marketing is great, but that information will age. In the old days of sales, it was a little bit different from how it is now. Like sales stayed the same more than marketing did, but even then, sales has changed because people have access to so many different resources. When you have 100 different options available to you at your fingertips because you have a phone, the way that you sell that product is a little bit different than it was 1,000 years ago when you could sell a product that people didn't know about, they couldn't find alternatives or options to it. You had to sell it in a different way. So now sales has changed as well. So you have to look at more consultative sales. And the way you learn that is through the internet. So Alberto 2000, bad news, sales and marketing books, they're not going to help you that much. The good news is you have something better. You have the internet. You asked this question, you have the internet. And that's going to help you a lot. Okay? So hopefully you guys found all of this information interesting. Hopefully you found this information helpful. Hopefully this helps you start your business or build something that you've been wanting to build. I enjoy this. Let me know in the comments if you like this podcast type content. Because if you do, we can do way more of these. We can do like a weekly talk with Renee where you guys just drop your questions and I answer every single one of them. So let me know what your thoughts on this, everything you learned today. It's going to be like a 30-minute video. So if you stay till the end, I applaud you. I appreciate you. I love you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And as always, love you guys. Break rules, never make them. She act up, I replace her.